Hi, this is Wyatt with another great product from Beadalon and Artistic Wire. This is the Artistic Wire 3D Bracelet Jig. It's patent pending and it comes with 20 pegs and 20 fasteners. This allows you to do three-dimensional bracelet bangles and cuff bracelets as well as components. Simply place the peg into the hole from the outside. Use one of the included fasteners to secure that on, just like that. I'm going to choose a pattern that's going to use less than the 20 pegs. I'm going to sort of bounce them up and down in a pattern that will then wrap wire around. What I'm doing is I'm just leaving, I'm going to the third row of holes, and then I'm leaving two diagonal holes in between each of the pegs to create this particular design. So these two, there's not a peg position here, but we can just drop down one, and that's where we'll put the center of that. Okay, now we have the whole 3D jig with all of our pegs in it. I'm going to use 18 gauge. You're able to use from 14 gauge. Some people may be able to use 12 gauge, but I would say from 14 gauge on up to about 20, possibly 22 gauge if you have other wires going around it. So I'm going to take my 18 gauge. I'm using the Artistic Wire tarnish resistant brass. I'm going to just run the wire straightener over it, and you need about 22 inches of wire for this particular design. This design is using 15 of the pegs, 14 of the pegs. Simply lay the wire across the top of this shorter peg. Instead of being in between there, of course it has to go there. So we're going to wrap so that this loop is down, and then we go to the next peg, and I'm just going to kind of rotate the entire jig, then bring it to the inside of that one. Now this could be done the opposite way, but for my purposes I would like for these loops to be up instead of inside. And we just kind of go back and forth, pushing the wire down to the surface each time with your thumb. And I'm not trying to wrap the wire, I'm just kind of pulling it a little bit so that the wire goes straight to the next peg, around, and then straight to the inside of the next peg, and around. And again, you can wrap these in varying patterns. There's all different ways you can do this. So here I'm going to remove this so that it's on the top, so I can go to the inside and have my connection right about here. So we'll come back to the connection after we pull this off of the jig. Now I'm going to take curved chain nose pliers and just kind of push down on each one of these to make sure it's down on the very surface of the jig. And you don't have to push too hard, just to get it. And some of them will move and some of them won't. If you're wrapping too loosely, then you'll have to do a lot of this pushing down. So once we're there, now we've created this complete bangle. This is the size of about a medium bangle, but because we have these zigzags, we're going to be able to adjust the final size. So now comes the easy part, where you just pull the pegs out, and your design will slowly come off of the jig. And of course, because we're using some semi-stiff wire, it's going to open up just a little bit. But you can bring this right back to center here, so that you can tie these together. Now make sure you've got them centered like this. And sometimes it's easier to put one of these pegs back in and then slide this onto the jig, so you can get these guys right here so that you can do what you need to do. So this, I'm going to just wrap this up and over this one, just like that, to get it to start, and then roll this over, and this one's going to have to wrap under. So once once you've got that first start, it's a little bit easier to then finish the wrap. You can adjust it just a little bit here to get those two circles to line up. So we're going to just take one more loop here. So we've got it. And that loop still wants to travel, so we'll just pull it back together and hold it while we do this. Then we're going to snip this, and we're going to snip this one. Now I've left these just a little bit longer because I have another really great product that I'm hoping that everyone starts using. It's an adjustable, it goes into the Beadalon battery operated bead reamer, and what it does, it's going to take the sharp edge off of that very quickly, so that you no longer have a sharp edge to deal with. That way, if this is on a lady's wrist and she's wearing a sweater, if you've done this correctly, there's not going to be anything that's going to snag. So once you get those the sharp edges knocked off, then you're just going to kind of squeeze that down, and boom, no more sharp edge. So we're going to just tighten that up. So now you have your basic medium-sized bangle. If you happen to have a little larger wrist, you can kind of pull these out a little bit, and that will help that to fit correctly. If you have a smaller wrist, there's many things you can do. You can twist these, or you can just pull that together like this. So I'll go ahead and do this all the way around. I would pull this one to make that stand up a little bit as well. And then you've just made the bracelet so that it sits out sort of like a crown. So that can sometimes fit up on the arm as well with this angle. But if you need it all the way around, then just adjust this like so, and we've already decreased the inside diameter by enough. Now you wouldn't want to open this up and close it many times. You want to just make it so that it fits the wrist properly, and then you can start to put all of anything that you'd like to do to it. You can now do to it. Put extra beads on it, more wire, just whatever you'd like to do. So that's in a nutshell how the patent pending artistic wire 3D bracelet jig works for making a bangle.